Already we find ourselves at the Singapore semi-finals. This is a massive clash. Samoa taking on Argentina, a matchup that we have seen multiple times in the past few legs of the Sevens, and is always an unpredictable one, which is why it is so exciting that we will get to see it as a Singapore semi-final. But throughout this preview, we will be looking at previous matches played, key players, and then also a prediction at the end for who we think will get themselves the victory. But for the Samoans, jumping straight into it, they were a part of Pool B for the Singapore Sevens alongside Spain, Fiji, and Canada. And they were able to get themselves out of that pool by winning 3 from 3. Their first game up against Spain, they were able to win it 28 points to 4. So a close fixture. Spain having a nice bit of a fight back near the end of that game, but Samoa still just ahead at the final whistle. Their next game, though, was not one-sided, which was surprising because that game was 28 points to 7 in favour of Samoa over Fiji. Normally very close. Last 15 times that match has happened, it has actually gone the way of the Fijians. So for Samoa, a massive win and a massive confidence booster heading further through the Singapore Sevens competition. And then their last game of the group stage is up against the Canadians. They were able to win it 39 points to 7. So a comfortable win heading into their next match in the Singapore Sevens competition, and that was up against Uruguay, who they found themselves head-to-head with in the quarterfinals. They were able to win that game also, 22 points to 7, so they're undefeated at this point of the comp, and that is the way that they want to remain heading right through to the final. Looking at Argentina, they were a part of Pool D. First game that they won was up against the Irish, 10 points to 0, and that is that same Irish side that did actually lose all 3 of their group stage fixtures for Singapore, so not exactly the best form for the Irish there. I think that was actually their best performance, though, when they did play Los Pumas for their first match. Next game, 42 points to 7 in favour of Argentina. That was up against Japan. And then their last game was up against Great Britain. They won it 19 points to 17. Close seesaw battle, but Argentina in the end able to just get the better of it. Then they found themselves up against Australia in the quarterfinals, winning that game 29 points to 12. So they will also remain undefeated at this point of the comp, moving into their game up against the Samoans. But now looking at key players, we're actually going to base this off looking at their last performance as a side. So for the Samoans, it was in their quarterfinal fixture. They were up against Uruguay, winning that game, like I mentioned, 22 points to 7. For me, a key player is definitely Taunua, and not just because of what he did in that game up against Uruguay, in which he was able to score himself a try, but alongside that, got himself 2 tries in an earlier game of the Singapore Sevens. He just seems to be popping up everywhere. Is up to a tally of 4 for the try scoring sheet, and I wouldn't be surprised if he can manage himself another one in this game up against Argentina. Paul Scanlon, another player to watch out for. He too scored a try up against Uruguay. Had a good run away, and that was at a moment where Uruguay were just about finding their way back into the contest. So a key time to score it. Paul Scanlon certainly is a very talented Sevens player. And then Va'a Pilomaleko, I'm going to go with him. Of course, he is one of the key names for the Samoans each and every week that they play. But this game, I think he is going to be absolutely crucial if Samoa will be able to get themselves the victory over Los Pumas. 7 now looking through at Argentina's most recent game. It was up against the Australians, 29 points to 12. Luciano Gonzalez, one of the keys, I would say, but he has got a bit of a knee injury at the moment. So I'm not sure if he is going to be match fit for this next game. So he's a little bit of a 50-50 at this point in time. Another player, though, to watch out for, Marcos Maneta, got himself 2 tries up against the Australians. Did have 1 handling error, which I think he's allowed. At the end of the day, everyone has them, but he normally does not drop that ball very often at all. So I feel like that would have frustrated him a little bit, make him even more fired up for this game up against the Samoans. And then the last player I'll go with is Matthias Azatsuk, recently bringing up his 100th try on the World Sevens circuit, and he has plenty more left in the tank for the rest of the Sevens competition. But now we are up to that stage of giving predictions. Who is going to be able to win this game? That is the big question. When these two sides have played in the past, it's always been a bit of a 50-50. Samoa sometimes getting themselves the victory. More times, though, recently, it has been Argentina. But this game, I feel like Samoa, after the way that they played up against the Fijians, they showed that they have that grit. They showed that they have that heart. And when they are playing well up against the top side, they can score a lot of points. Argentina, different style to Fiji. They won't quite concede in the same way. There'll be different strengths, different weaknesses. And they've been in some terrific form over the last little while in the Sevens circuit. But I will go Samoa. I'm saying Samoa win it by 5. I think it will end up being 17 points to 12 in this matchup for the semi-finals in Singapore. But thank you all very much for tuning into this preview. We will be doing the live commentary on the channel for this matchup that is taking place at 8:13 p.m. New Zealand time, so not too far away at all. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.